Have you been living under the assumption, like millions of others, that drinking 8 glasses of water a day is essential to good health? You're not alone. This advice has practically become health gospel in North America. From morning talk shows and magazine covers to your cousin's Facebook post and even your family doctor's offhand remarks, the message has been consistent. Don't forget your 8 glasses of water today. But here's the shocking part. The latest scientific research is turning that well-worn belief completely upside down. A major international study involving more than 5,600 participants from 23 countries, that's right, 23, has revealed that this so-called golden rule might not only be unnecessary, but potentially harmful. Especially for people aged 55 and over, sticking rigidly to the 8 glasses a day could end up doing more harm than good. The truth according to science: you probably don't need that much water. According to a study led by the University of Aberdeen in Scotland, published in Science, one of the world's most respected scientific journals, in November 2022, most people don't actually need 2 full liters of water per day, which is about 8 standard 8-ounce glasses. Why? Because approximately half of our daily water intake actually comes from the food we eat. Think fruits, vegetables, soups, and even pasta or rice. When researchers factored this in, they found that the actual amount of drinking water needed is closer to 1.5 to 1.8 liters per day. That's around 6 to 7 cups, not 8, and certainly not more than that. Professor John Speakman, who led the study, emphasized that previous guidelines miscalculated by failing to subtract the water we consume through food. What you actually need to drink depends on how much water-rich food you've already had that day. If you've eaten a big bowl of salad with cucumbers, watermelon, or oranges, your hydration needs through beverages go down dramatically. How the study was conducted. The team recruited 5,604 volunteers ranging from 8 to 96 years old, from countries as varied as the United States, Japan, Sweden, and Brazil. They used a specialized method known as stable isotope tracking, where participants drank water enriched with harmless isotopes so scientists could track how water moved through their bodies. They discovered that energy expenditure, how much energy you use in a day, was the strongest factor influencing water turnover in the body. This rate varied by age and gender. Men aged 20 to 35 had an average water turnover of 4.2 liters/day. Women aged 20 to 40 had about 3.3 liters/day. Men aged 90 and up had just 2.5 liters/day. But here's the key. Water turnover isn't the same as drinking requirement. For instance, a healthy man aged 30 might have 4.2 liters turning over in his body, but he doesn't need to drink that much. Only around 1.6 to 1.8 liters is needed if he eats a normal diet with water-containing foods. Similarly, a woman in her 50s or 60s may only need to drink 1.3 to 1.4 liters of water per day to stay properly hydrated. And more than that might be unnecessary unless she lives in a hot climate, is breastfeeding, or exercises heavily. Important reminder from doctors: if you're over 55, hydration needs change. Let's take the case of Mr. Allen, a fictional 63-year-old retired school principal living in Arizona, who's been struggling with diabetes. Like many others with high blood sugar, he often feels thirsty. He assumed, as many of us do, that more water must be better. So he started downing bottle after bottle of water every day, convinced that he was doing something positive for his health. Unfortunately, Mr. Allen also had early-stage liver cirrhosis and a condition called portal hypertension, which led to abdominal fluid buildup, ascites. The more water he drank, the more bloated and uncomfortable he became. His doctors eventually explained that in his case, drinking more water was making things worse. It wasn't lowering his blood sugar, and it was worsening his fluid retention. This case highlights a critical truth. As we age, our organs, liver, kidneys, heart, don't work quite as efficiently. Pushing large volumes of water into an aging body can overwhelm these organs, especially if there's an underlying medical condition. So what should people over 55 do? Doctors recommend 4 golden rules. 1. Stop drinking boiling hot water. Some older adults have developed the habit of drinking scalding hot water, often believing it helps with circulation or digestion. But water hotter than 149 degrees Fahrenheit 65 degrees Celsius can burn the lining of your esophagus repeatedly, increasing the risk of inflammation and even esophageal cancer. Instead, lukewarm or room temperature water is the safest and most soothing option. 2. Hydrate first thing in the morning. After a long night of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated. This is the best time to gently rehydrate your system. Experts suggest that after waking, take a few minutes to sit up and move around slowly. Then drink a glass of warm water, about 6 to 8 ounces. It helps stimulate digestion, improve blood circulation, and ease constipation. 3. Don't drink a lot right before bed. Some people feel thirsty in the evening and start gulping water right before bedtime. The result? Multiple trips to the bathroom overnight, which disrupts sleep and increases the risk of falls, especially for seniors. To avoid this, try to stop drinking large amounts of fluids at least 2 hours before going to sleep. If your mouth feels dry, just take a small sip to moisten your throat. 4. Adjust based on your health conditions. If you're generally healthy, then drinking 1.5 to 1.8 liters per day should be fine. But if you've got conditions like chronic kidney disease, congestive heart failure, liver issues, or diabetes, you must follow your doctor's advice. In many cases, your water intake may actually need to be restricted. And don't wait until you feel thirsty. Thirst sensation diminishes with age. A better way to judge your hydration is by looking at your urine color. Light yellow or pale straw color, you're doing just fine. A dark yellow with a strong smell, you're dehydrated. Clear as water with no color, you may be overhydrating and could be diluting essential electrolytes in your system. The hidden dangers of drinking water the wrong way after 60. What every senior in America needs to know. Let me tell you a story. There was an elderly gentleman named Mr. Harold Thompson, a retired accountant living in Pennsylvania. Harold had a very consistent routine. After every lunch and dinner, he would drink 2 large glasses of cold water, believing it would help him digest his food better. It was something he'd been doing for decades. He thought, well, if a little water's good, then more must be even better. But instead of feeling better, Harold started noticing something troubling. His blood pressure would suddenly shoot up and then drop just as quickly. He often felt a strange heaviness in his chest. Some days, it was hard to breathe deeply. There were moments when he thought he might be having heart trouble. After a few weeks of feeling off, he finally went to see his doctor. The doctor asked about his habits and, upon hearing about his post-meal water routine, shook his head. Mr. Thompson, he said, drinking that much water all at once, especially after eating, puts extra strain on your heart and digestive system. Your body can't handle that kind of sudden volume. The doctor advised Harold to change his habit. Instead of drinking big gulps all at once, he should sip water slowly and spread it out throughout the day, gradually, gently, consistently. And guess what? Within a few weeks, Harold's blood pressure stabilized. That uncomfortable heaviness in his chest went away. He started sleeping better. He felt more alert in the mornings. He was shocked that something as simple as how he drank water could have such a profound effect on his health. That's the first lesson. Don't drink too much water at once. Sip it gradually throughout the day. Dividing your water intake evenly is key to staying truly hydrated without putting your heart or kidneys under stress. Second, don't wait until you're thirsty. You know, a lot of older adults think, I'll drink water when I feel thirsty. But here's the truth. By the time your body sends you that signal, you're already dehydrated. Let me tell you about another person, Mrs. Carol Jenkins, a 73-year-old grandmother from Ohio. Carol rarely drank water. She would often say, if I'm not thirsty, I don't need to drink. She'd have a cup of coffee in the morning, a little tea in the afternoon, maybe a glass of juice at dinner, and that was it. But then things started happening. She would feel lightheaded standing up from the couch. A few times, she even nearly fell. She complained about feeling tired all the time. Her skin looked dry, and her energy was low. When she went in for a checkup, her blood work showed her blood had become too thick, more viscous than normal. Her circulation was sluggish, and her blood pressure was fluctuating unpredictably. Her doctor explained, Carol, as we age, our sense of thirst becomes duller. By the time you feel thirsty, it's already too late. He recommended she set reminders on her phone or use sticky notes around the house to prompt herself to take small sips every couple of hours. She took the advice seriously and began drinking small amounts of water regularly throughout the day. When she woke up, between meals, before her walks, and a little before bedtime. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a significant difference: more energy, fewer dizzy spells, better sleep. So here's the second golden rule. Don't wait until you're parched. Hydrate proactively. Especially after 60, we must train ourselves to drink even without the feeling of thirst. Third, avoid extreme water temperatures. In the summer, some folks just love an ice-cold drink. It's refreshing, right? And in the winter, there's nothing like a steaming mug of hot water or tea to warm you up. But here's the problem. Extreme temperatures can shock your system. Take Mr. David Moore from Arizona. Every morning, he would slam back a tall glass of ice water, thinking it helped him wake up and feel refreshed. One morning, though, he experienced sudden chest tightness and shortness of breath. After a visit to the ER and several tests, doctors told him he had mild myocardial ischemia, reduced blood flow to the heart, partly due to sudden cold-induced vascular constriction. Similarly, on the other end of the spectrum, Mrs. Linda Palmer in Michigan was obsessed with drinking hot water in winter. Scalding hot. She thought it cleansed her insides, but she began to suffer from chronic throat inflammation and irritation in her esophagus. Eventually, she was told her hot drink habit was wearing down her inner tissues. The smart way? Drink lukewarm water, around 86 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 to 50 degrees Celsius. That's the sweet spot where water is gentle on your system and absorbs efficiently. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right. Fourth, if you have diabetes, be extra cautious. Now, let's talk about something vital: hydration and blood sugar. For anyone managing type 2 diabetes, how you hydrate can have a direct impact on your blood glucose levels. Dr. Anderson, an endocrinologist in New York, outlined 6 hydration don'ts for people over 60 dealing with diabetes. 1. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Again, that sense of thirst dulls with age. If you're dehydrated, blood sugar can rise quickly. 2. Don't substitute water with diet soda or sugar-free drinks. Many of these contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose, which can still mess with insulin response. 3. Don't chug cold water first thing in the morning. It can cause GI distress and even trigger low blood pressure or hypoglycemic symptoms. 4. Don't drink large amounts of water right before bed. This leads to nighttime bathroom trips, disrupting sleep, and potentially causing falls, especially dangerous if you're on medications that affect balance. 5. Don't forget to hydrate more in hot weather. If you're sweating a lot and not replacing lost fluids, your blood sugar can become unstable. 6. Don't skip electrolyte balance. During diarrhea, fever, or while taking diuretics, diabetics are at higher risk of sodium or potassium imbalance. Use oral rehydration solutions as advised by your doctor. One case: Mr. Greg Williams, a 65-year-old retired teacher from Oregon, always had his blood sugar under control. But one winter, he stopped drinking water and switched to coffee and strong black tea. At his next checkup, his blood sugar had spiked to 9.8%. Turns out the caffeine dehydrated him, messed up his plasma concentration, and disrupted his glucose metabolism. So what's the right way to drink water after 60? Doctors across the U.S. now recommend what they call the 7 golden rules of senior hydration. 1. Drink slowly, not all at once. Spread your intake throughout the day. About 50 to 60 ounces total, 1,500 to 1,800 milliliters. Small sips every hour or 2. Never chug. 2. Water temperature matters. Keep it lukewarm. Again, 86 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold water shocks the system. Hot water can damage tissues. Room temperature or slightly warm is perfect. 3. The first glass of the day is crucial. Right after waking, drink 6 to 8 ounces of warm water. It helps thin the blood, prevents morning constipation, and lowers the risk of strokes and heart attacks. 4. Avoid gulping water immediately after meals. It can dilute digestive enzymes, burden your heart and gut, and cause bloating. 5. No big drinks before bed. Stop major drinking 2 hours before bedtime to avoid waking up for bathroom trips and risking falls. 6. Adjust water based on medical conditions. If you have heart failure, kidney issues, or are on certain meds, ask your doctor how much you should drink. More isn't always better. 7. In hot weather or after exercise, rehydrate with electrolytes. A bit of broth, diluted fruit juice, or even a pinch of salt in water can help maintain your sodium-potassium balance and prevent muscle cramps or dizziness. Common mistakes to watch out for. Even if you drink water, how you do it matters. Plastic bottles left in hot cars may release BPA or other harmful chemicals. Use glass or BPA-free containers. Unwashed water dispensers can grow mold and bacteria. Clean them every couple of weeks. Overused tea leaves release too much tannin and caffeine, which can irritate your stomach. Final thoughts. Water, a friend or a foe? Water is one of the cheapest, simplest, and most powerful tools for health. But if you drink it the wrong way, it can cause more harm than good, especially after age 60. So let this be a little wake-up call. Start treating your water habits with the same care you give your food, your exercise, your medications. Take it seriously because staying hydrated isn't just about quenching thirst anymore. It's about preserving your brain, protecting your heart, preventing falls, and prolonging your independence. Thank you for spending this time with us. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe or share this with someone who might benefit, your spouse, your parents, or even your neighbor. Let's grow older wisely, joyfully, and healthfully, one sip of water at a time. Until next time, stay safe, stay kind, and stay hydrated. Droplet United States.